South Korean villages awoke to a world suddenly filled with noise and plague. The communists, made bold by months of small-scale raiding across the 38th parallel, had finally launched their undeclared, all-out war of conquest. Half a world away in Washington, President Truman took immediate action, saying, "In these circumstances, I have ordered United States Air and Sea Forces to give the Korean government troops cover and support." Next day at the United Nations in New York, United States Representative Warren Austin made our position clear beyond doubting.
The armed invasion of the Republic of Korea continues. The Republic of Korea has appealed to the United Nations for protection. I am proud to report that the United States is prepared to furnish assistance to the Republic of Korea.
Spearheaded by tanks, the Red forces had moved swiftly. In 2 days, they were attacking the capital city itself. Seoul fell the next day, June 28th. By June 30th, the communists had crossed the Han River south of Seoul and fought through the rail city of Yongdong-po. With their heavy Russian-made tanks, they thrust aside South Korean resistance, racing down the corridor which led through Anyang toward Suwon. Here the helpless and homeless gathered, only to be told they must flee still farther southward. Everywhere they saw their outnumbered countrymen rushing north to join the battle. Less than a dozen combat planes were available, several of them piloted by Americans.
Man, I was scared. I didn't know it was going to be like that.
The enemy was a lot stronger and better trained than we'd heard. Some guys thought we'd have it easy. It didn't work out that way.
Retreat. The few heavier weapons covered each withdrawal as best they could.
Where they had divisions, we had companies. Pull back, fight, pull back again. 4 days and nights, nobody slept. We started with a good many green troops. Now anybody could still pack his gear, he was a veteran.
Encouraged, the world listened for news of the final signing that would mean ceasefire in Korea. It came on July 27, 1953. While the communists signed at Panmunjom, General Clark, in ceremonies at the UN base camp in Munsan, signed 6 copies of the document which would end the bloodshed. There was excitement, but little rejoicing.
We have stopped the shooting. That means much to the fighting men and their families. And it will allow some of the grievous wounds of Korea to heal. Therefore, I am thankful. The task now is to put the ceasefire agreement into full effect and get down to working out an enduring settlement of the Korean problem. I cannot find it in me to exult in this hour. Rather, it is a time for prayer, that we may succeed in our difficult endeavor to turn this armistice to the advantage of mankind.
In accordance with the truce agreement, the opposing forces now pulled back from one another. The open ground left between was to become the demilitarized zone, or DMZ.
지나서 가장 가까운 곳에 은색 기둥이 보이고 부산군 빨간색 깃발이 보이는 곳이 있습니다.
Southeast.
사실 이 지역이 JFK 지역에서는 약간의 그 뭔가 그 도끼를 그대로 전시하고 있습니다.
Further, and that is where the axes that were used in the axe murder incident are stored in.
도에 남북 연락사무소가 폭파가 되는데 북측에서 폭발을 시킨 것으로서